All right, fellow handymen and handy women. I know there's at least one of you on here. So I did a poll. What everybody wanted to see was, for the next video, was how to start a handyman business from scratch. So that's what we're going to do. This is not going to be super detailed. This is just going to be a guide, a step-by-step guide for everything you need to check off to get started. So to start with, we're going to pick a name. That's honestly the first thing you need to do, and it's kind of the most fun. You're going to need something searchable. I recommend putting Handyman in the title. This channel, for those of you who don't know, is geared towards people who are going to work for property management companies. So if you're going to be working for property management companies, if by chance they are searching for handymen, they're going to be searching for the word handyman. They're not going to be searching for contractors because they're expensive. They're not going to be searching for home repair specialists or any of that. They're looking for handymen. That's the nomenclature that they all use. So pick a name that is easy to remember, that is searchable, that is not too long. And then the first thing you're going to do is, in your state, you're going to go to, well, here in Arizona, it's called the Arizona Corporation Commission. Probably called different things in other states, but essentially what you need to do is you need to make sure that in your state that your name is available, that somebody else has not already started a business with that name. You also, once you've verified that it is available, you're also going to want to check all the social media, because you should have social media sites. Even if you don't need them now, even if you don't need them for 2 or 3 years, you don't want somebody else, just like you don't want somebody taking your name under the Corporation Commission, you also don't want somebody else taking your name via email addresses, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. So make sure the name is available as a corporation in your state, that it's not taken. Make sure you get all the social media, and then check to see if you can get a website with that name, like a regular .com website. See if it's available there. If it is, the next step is actually to, one of two things: acquire an email account like Gmail. It seems like everybody uses that for business. Or acquire the website with a company that will host your email. But the first thing you want to be getting done once you've got the name pinned down and you found out it's available is acquire that email address, because from this point on, everything you do that's related to the business needs to go through this main email address. So you've got your corporation name reserved, and you're going to do that under this email address. They're probably going to ask you for one in most states. So here's what we did. We picked our name. We made sure it was available on the Corporation Commission. We made sure it was available on social media. We made sure we could get a website with it. We got an email address with that name. Now we're going to use that email address to reserve the corporation name. And we're going to go to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I don't care, every single platform that you can think of that anybody's using. You're going to go reserve that name under all of them at once, because there are actually assholes out there who will go and try to take people's names and register them just so that they can sell them back to you later. Acquire your EIN is the next step. So now you've got all your email address, you've got all your social media and everything reserved, corporation name reserved. You need to get an EIN. This is it's an employer identification number. It's basically the federal government's social security number for your business rather than for you. Because one of the reasons, in fact, let's go back. Actually, no, we don't need to go back. But this is going to be their social security number for your business. And you're going to be an LLC. You really shouldn't be anything else unless you know that you have a really good reason to be something else. You want to be an LLC. And if you intend on pouring your entire self into this and working as hard as you can 24/7, go ahead and make it an S-Corp, because if you're making decent money, like a lot of money, which you should be very quickly, if that's what your plan is, you're going to want to be an S-Corp. It'll just be better for your taxes if you're an S-Corp, if you're making a lot of money. So here's what I recommend for the next step. You can have an accountant get your EIN if you want, but they're super easy to get. But if not, I recommend right here at this step, where you've got everything reserved, including your EIN, go to an accountant and have him actually set up your business. I wished I would have years ago when I had a food truck, and I wished I would have when I started this one, because I finally got an accountant. Guess what? I didn't do everything just right, and I ended up paying him to go back and just refile everything and fix it all anyways. But if you're going to do it yourself, do it yourself. I recommend using an accountant, but what that accountant needs to be doing, or you, is you want to file for an LLC in your state. There's a bunch of paperwork that has to be filled out to get an LLC in just about any state. I'm sure they're all mostly the same. And you want to file for all of your business licenses. So you're going to have an LLC under the state. You may have a separate state business license. You're going to have maybe a county business license in some states. You can have a city business license. Heck, I remember when I was in Denver for a while once, Denver even had these little municipalities within the city limits that were their own thing that could also tax you as a business or as a person. So you want to make sure all of those get set up. At this point in time, you'll be a business. You will be a legal business that people can write checks to and whatnot. And then at this point, kind of at the same time but separately, you're going to want to get a business checking account. And it needs to be a business checking account, not just any checking account that you're calling a business checking account. Now, for example, where I'm at, it's actually kind of funny because to get the checking account, you have to show that you have the LLC. But to get the LLC, when you do that, they also want you to tell them what city you're doing business in and have a business license for that city. So under that city, when you go to set that up, they want you to have a bank account number, which you can't get without the other. And I don't remember even how we finally got that settled. But again, that's why I say just get an accountant. He'll know how to set all that up. So I'm going to go back over this again. Pick a name, reserve everything that you need to reserve, all social media, websites, corporation commission. Once you've got that, you're going to get your email address. You're going to set everything up. You're going to get an EIN from the federal government. You're going to get an accountant, have the accountant actually set up your LLC and acquire all of your business licenses for you. He'll know everything you need to do. Now, go ahead and get yourself some insurance. You can kind of pop that in there anywhere, but most of the time you need to have the business in order to get the insurance. Mine, I want to say is through Next. I just changed it recently. I think it's Next Insurance, but really go to Google, type in Handyman Insurance, and you're going to get a million hits. I'm paying like $140, $150 a month. I probably need to be paying more because I'm getting employees on all of a sudden very quickly. The workload is growing very quickly, so I'm going to be doing a lot more work and probably a lot more types of work than I used to do. But go ahead and acquire your insurance. At first, just get it from anywhere. Now, if you want to use a local guy, that's what I recommend. The only reason I haven't is I'm short on time, and for me, it's just like, okay, get online, bang it out, get it done. But I do recommend actually having a local like State Farm or Allstate or whomever, whatever company you think is a good company. Sorry about that. And get your insurance. And the upside of if you get a local guy is that the local guy, what he can do, and you can do this online with the other ones, but for example, back when I had a food truck, one of the things I would do is, for example, the University of Arizona wanted to be listed as additionally insured under my insurance for big specific events. And I could just call my guy up and say, hey man, I need to list these guys as additionally insured. He would get it all typed up and then he would fax it over to him and I didn't have to mess with it. So you may have property companies that ask for that. Nobody's asked me to specifically list them as additionally insured. They've only asked me to just prove that I have insurance. So get your insurance. Now, at this point, just go do business, if you want to. I mean, if you've got work already, if you've got enough people that already want you to do the work, you're a legal business now. You are a business owner, and it's just a matter of you banging out the work and getting it done. However, this channel being structured towards property management, I'm going to give you a few more steps you're going to need so that you can get a good start rolling with property management. I'm going to make some recommendations that are not the way I did it. They're the way that I've figured out now after the fact. Luckily, I did things kind of the right way and I ended up in a good place. But what I'm going to say you need to do is you're going to need to get on with multiple property management companies. And there's a reason for this. And the reason is because not all of them are good. A lot of them suck a lot. And beneficially, one of the things they're going to do is they're going to send, so when you get on, let's say you get on with a property management company, right? One of the first things they're going to do is they're going to send you one job or two jobs, like very small jobs. And these are like test jobs. They just want to see how you do. So you'll be starting out slow with each one. The truth is, if it's a decent sized property management company, you're going to start out slow, but if you're any good, you're going to be just full-time very, very quickly. So here's what I'm going to say to do is you're going to start out with, let's say if you can get on with 6 property management companies, you're not going to be able to handle 6. But the goal is that out of those 6, the ones that treat you the best, the ones that respect you the most, the ones that behave as if they're interacting with a business when they interact with you, the ones who don't complain about your rates as much. I mean, it depends on where you set them. If you set them in the wrong place, they're going to complain. But you want to be able to sort of test the waters with 6 companies and figure out which ones work best for you, because you will need to drop probably 4 of them very quickly if you're good, because they're going to send you so much work. So here's how you're going to do that. You're going to create a list with pricing structures on it. This is going to be a list of literally every job you can do. Walk through your house and look around and just basically say, okay, let's see, there's a door. So I can install the casing around the door. I can install the doorknob. I know how to fix the hinges when the screws turn in the slots. Just list every single possible job you can do. Now, I have a list that I've started that's getting pretty damn complete. It's not all the way there. It's taken forever and ever and ever. But I've got this list going because my goal ultimately is to have the job name and a price. And these are just general prices so that people understand the ballpark. But the job name, the price if it's a one-off job and that's the only thing I'm doing there, and then a different price that's lower if it's one of many jobs that I'm doing there. And the reason it would be lower is I operate based on trip fees. So my $125 trip fee, it basically covers, I used to say an hour, now it's more like, let's say 15, 20 minutes of driving time and like 40 minutes of work. But if my overall investment in the job is about an hour, then my trip fee is $125. Well, if you give me a job with 7 things to do, I could probably knock out all 7 in like 3 hours. I'm not going to multiply 7 times 125. I'm going to be looking at charging 100 or a little over 100 an hour. But do not give them hourly rates. They will want hourly rates. Don't give them hourly rates. That's going to really back you into a corner. So create your list of all the jobs you can do. Oh, and by the way, so I do have on my channel, I've just set it up. I don't have any members yet, but you can become a member on my channel now. There's like a join button down there. And when you, down there, over here. When you click that join button, there's packages, and I don't even remember how I priced the packages. I do know that I didn't make them cheap because I don't have a lot of time, and anytime I need to invest my time into something because my business is doing well, I need to be making back the money from that time because I have to take it from my family. But one of the things that's going to be on that for one of those levels is actually my documents, and one of those documents is this. It's like a 5 or 6 page list that, again, is not complete. It's complete as complete as I've gotten it so far, and I update it semi-weekly. And I've just started adding the prices to it. So if you subscribe, you'll have access to that, and every time I update it, you'll get the new version of that. But you don't have to have mine. You just need to walk around your entire house. Can you texture a wall? Can you remove the screw and patch it and paint it? Can you match the paint correctly? Can you paint a room? Can you hang curtains? Can you hang pictures? Can you, what else do we have? We got flooring in here. Can you lay flooring? If so, what kind? Can you do carpet? Can you repair carpet? Can you put in all new carpet? Can you put in vinyl? Can you put in tile? Can you regrout tile? Just every job you can think of you can do, because they need to know what your skill set is. They're going to look at your skill set and say, oh, okay, this guy's well-rounded, so we'll send him just about anything. Or they'll say, okay, this guy only knows how to do 7 things, but his prices seem to be really nice, so we'll just send him all of our smoke detectors and stuff. So that's what you're going to do, is you're going to make this list, and you're going to basically come up with your pricing structure, whether you're going to operate based on, say, an $80 trip fee plus $40 an hour, or a $120 trip fee plus $100 an hour, or you're only going to do trip fees and then estimate the rest if it's over, or you're just going to do an hourly rate, or you're going to come up with a subscription package. I mean, there's a million ways you could do it. But for now, what I'm going to say is that you're going to need to answer the question for them of how expensive are you. They want to know if your pricing is going to work with what they do. My suggestion, just starting off, $80 trip fee and minimum 50, 60 an hour. I mean, really it should be more if you have some confidence and you really know what you're doing, and you don't want to have to change companies later, because this trip fee is kind of going to get stuck on you. But where I think you want to be, if you're in a decent sized city, is about $125 trip fee, at least $100 trip fee minimum. And then I try to do $100 an hour, but the thing is, I don't give them hourly rates. When they say, what's your trip fee and hourly rate? I say my trip fee is $125. I don't have an hourly rate, but most one-off jobs are within the $125. And if it's going to be more than that, I will let you know how much it'll be, and you can approve or not approve that job. And then what happens is they say, okay, and then at some point within a few months, I don't call them anymore to get the approval, because they've seen enough of my work. When you do good work, when you charge fair prices, when the relationship develops, they're going to not always want pictures at the end of the job anymore. They're not going to always want to know what everything's going to cost ahead of time. But you're going to need to have this list and some explanation as to what your pricing structure is. And then essentially, you need to get yourself some property management companies. And I've done a video a little bit at the beginning of this channel. I'm going to do a dedicated one, because honestly, it came in. So how to start a handyman business, y'all voted 43% voted that should be my next video. So that's why I'm doing this one. But the very next one just below that is how to get on the vendor list for a property management company. And that's going to be your goal, is to get on that list. And that's going to be my next video, other than maybe a Q&A or something. But my next video that I'm going to sit at this desk and put together is going to be how to get on with property management companies. That will be your next big goal. And like I said, get on with as many as you can. But in the meantime, until I do that video, go online as if you're looking to rent a house, right? Find the websites where you can find houses that are for rent and see who manages them. Or type in property management company with your city name and just go down the list and start looking for any contact info you can find for property managers. And then either cold call them, send them an email, show up at the front door, maybe call the company and see if you can set up a meeting with the main manager or with the smaller managers, either way. But that's how you start your handyman business. Once you get to this point, you're all legal, you've got all your business licenses, you've got your insurance, you've got your property managers that now want to send you work, and the next step is they send you work, and your job is to get out there and do it as fast as you can. I mean, not with low quality, but what I mean is wake up early, go to bed late, stay busy, knock out these jobs with a good quality and a good speed, and get them invoiced quickly and efficiently, and make sure that they don't have any problems. And they're going to send you more and more and more. The more you do and you don't mess up, the more they're going to send you. And eventually one of their handymen is going to go on a bender, or he's going to get some kind of stimulus check, so he's just not going to work for 3 weeks, and you're going to become their guy. It's how it's worked for me most of the time. So this is it, guys. How to start a handyman business. Follow these steps and you'll have a handyman business. And that's all there is to it. So y'all let me know what else you want to see. I'm probably going to do another poll. If you subscribe to this, then my poll will pop up in your feed, and you'll be able to see what videos I'm thinking of making next. I've also got a big inventory video coming that I really, really want to make, because I cleaned out the van the other day, and I went ahead and took everything out, and I took pictures of everything before I put it back in. And I'm going to do like a slideshow with like a screen within a screen, where you can see everything that I have and that I take with me daily, and how I do the inventory on my tools and on my materials. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, please subscribe, please share, please leave any comments, leave any questions. I do answer every single comment. So anything else y'all want to know, future videos you want to see, or just advice that you need, let me know. Thanks, guys.